Right on, right on. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. So it's a lot going on. I don't know if people have been checking their phones, but if you would see an update about Donald Trump. So right now he's declared people who are protesting in the streets like us, I think it's possible terrorist organizations. And he's threatening to send... Exactly. Damn right. So he's threatening to declare a war, right? A war on the people who are protesting the injustice. So I think he's actually right about one thing for once, that they've woken up a sleeping giant. So first off, I want to thank Akil and Xavier for letting me share a few words. It's been a pleasure getting to know them while working for today's event. So just to introduce myself, my name is Drew. I grew up here in Oakland and actually graduated from Tech back in 2004. Damn business. So in part, it was my experience growing up in Oakland and seeing the racial disparities that exist between myself and many of my friends that made me or helped me become a revolutionary socialist. Like millions of others across our country and world, I was outraged and saddened to see the murder of George Floyd and the continuous racism and barbarity of our society. But times are clearly changing, and we are making history, making our voices heard as many others across our country and world are doing. And I'm proud to be here with everybody. Like the saying goes, racism is not a black people problem, it's a white people problem. So black people and other minorities have known about the injustices and brutality of our society for as long as this country has existed. From the beginning of our country, those who rule our society have attempted to buy poor whites off by giving a few more crumbs and feeding lies about racial superiority. It's been one of the best weapons our enemy has had, being able to separate people who ultimately have more commonalities than differences. But as we've seen over the past few days, the centuries-long system of racism are being challenged in a way that many of us have not seen in our lifetimes. The virus, the unemployment, our uncertain futures have linked us all together. The brutal murder of George Floyd was the last straw. The calls to reform the police with body cameras, community liaisons, and better training are clearly not a solution. Under this system, there is no solution to the problems we have. The capitalist system we live in depends on the extraction of wealth from our communities and the exploitation of our labor. This system cannot allow those who have the power to change it, that is, poor and working class blacks, whites, and other minorities, to come together. Racism is in the DNA of American capitalism. So people have taken to the streets, rightfully so, but this should only be our beginning. If we want to do more than protest against these injustices, we have to organize ourselves to transform them. The schools we're in, the churches we're a part of, the places where we work, the communities we live in, these are our arenas of life that we must begin to organize. We have the numbers, and the diverse working class of our country has the power to shut it all down. We must begin to organize ourselves so that we can not only take on this racist system, but end it and create a society that works for all of us. Power to the people.